All right, time now to switch gears. We're talking some weather, turning back to Hannah about what's ahead, but the high temperatures today feeling a little bit better.
Just a little bit warmer. Certainly going to feel nice today. Enjoy it while you can the next couple of days. Going to see kind of a copy and paste forecast today and tomorrow. Did want to let you know, the temperatures we experienced over the last couple of days where we saw those feels like temperatures getting almost below zero for some, better buckle up because that Arctic blast is going to swing in once again this weekend and could bring us the chance for some snowfall. We're going to talk about the potential tracks here in just a second, but today nice and relatively balmy compared to what we've experienced. High of around 44 degrees here in Chattanooga. Wind gusts of around 11 miles per hour. That's going to make things feel a little bit colder, but enjoy the 40s while you can for the next couple of days. Come Friday, that'll be the last day we'll see the 40s for a couple of days. Dropping down, these are highs, mind you, of around 26 heading into your Saturday. That's going to be important with that winter weather forecast, and then we'll slowly increase heading into the start of next week. Low temperatures are going to be brutal. I think we could see some temperatures getting even colder than this, but overall we're going to see those teens and even close to those single-digit numbers making a reappearance. So the timing for the possibility of some wintry mischief works in January 30th through the 31st. So I'm watching it. Not super excited yet. Borderline, it does have my attention. And I'll show you why it's very interesting. So we have two scenarios. Here's scenario one, which shows a higher chance of seeing the possibility of some snow flurries, especially for some of our eastern communities over here, all the way through Georgia into the Carolinas, into Virginia. So that's where the low pressure system tracks a little farther over to the west. That would give us a higher chance for some snowfall. Whereas scenario two, where that low pressure system tracks farther over to the east, gives us less of a chance for snowfall, if any, and maybe give some over to those East Coast states such as South Carolina and North Carolina. Now, I will mention that the models which have been showing some of that easterly scenario tend to have an eastern bias, whereas sometimes we start to see things begin to shift over to the west. We've seen a slight shift. I don't know whether it's going to continue that shift, but it's definitely something to watch. So some of our models are starting to show that western shift. This is our in-house Barron model here. So this is the scenario showing if it shifts farther over to the west, giving us the possibility of some snow showers. So heading into your Friday, we're going to get some rain during the mid-afternoon. That's going to transition into snowfall because, again, you're going to have a lot of Arctic air moving through. And we're going to continue to have this cold air working in because the low pressure system is going to be farther out to the east this time, meaning all we're going to get is that funneling in of that colder air. This isn't a scenario where we're going to have warm air funneling up from the south like we did over the past couple of days with the last system. So all cold air. And this could give us the chance for some showers, especially towards our eastern communities here, lingering Friday night into your Saturday. Remember, high temperatures are only going to get up there into the 20s on Saturday, so we could see the chance for a little bit of accumulating snowfall. Another thing that's interesting to note, and I'll show you here in a second, that our European model is kind of showcasing the same thing over here. If this were to accumulate, if we were to see some snowfall, because it's so cold, or it's going to be so cold, our snowfall total ratios might be a little higher. Normally we're kind of sitting at a 10-to-1 ratio. What does 10-to-1 ratio mean? Well, that means for every inch of precipitation, that would be 10 inches of snowfall. I'm not saying that's going to happen here, I'm just saying that's what we tend to see. But with this system, because it's going to be so cold, we could see more of a 15-to-1 ratio or a 20-to-1 ratio because it's going to be cold all the way from the top of the atmosphere to the bottom. This would likely be more of a snowfall event if that occurs. I am not saying this is going to happen. I am saying in the case this shifts over to the west, it wouldn't take as much of that precipitation to cause a bit of accumulating snow.